of her immigration studies. When you hear this, Jessica, I mean, obviously it's an aggressive back and forth with the press. That's to be expected. But with this president, more than I can remember other presidents. But what did you think of how that went down?
Well, these executive actions that the president is signing today are a big deal, but a lot of these reporters didn't really want to focus on that. They're, going off on other tangents. But this is a huge first step in restoring integrity to our immigration system that is long overdue because the Obama administration worked so hard to dismantle enforcement and to impose these restrictions on Border Patrol and ICE officers that, these are a big deal. And I also noticed that these reporters still want to talk about what's going to happen to the illegal aliens who got work permits through DACA, as if that's the most important issue. But these enforcement issues and securing the border and ending catch and release and going after criminal aliens are much more important in the overall scheme of things. They're going to make a bigger difference in our communities, and that's why people voted for Donald Trump, because they expected action on these things.
There is talk that this is sort of like the opening salvo to do more sweeping things, and that would include a temporary ban on refugees in general, claiming the Muslim Brotherhood as an outright terrorist organization. As this escalates, or potentially escalates, play this out for me. What's going to happen?
Well, with respect to the refugee program, what Donald Trump has said all along is that, and this has been confirmed by, our top intelligence and law enforcement officials, is that currently we cannot be sure that people that we are letting in from places like Syria can be vetted. We do not know, we don't have the ability to make sure that it's safe to let them in. And so it's prudent to put a halt to that until we can come up with a better vetting system. And we may not be able to come up with a better vetting system or an adequate vetting system for some of these groups. So, he's taking the logical first step, which is to not let any more people in from areas where we have concerns until we can fix the problems and identify the problems. And so I see this as, a logical, common sense first step, not necessarily just the tip of the iceberg.
Jessica, separately, we do know the president did an interview with ABC, and in it, this back and forth about the wall in Mexico, who's going to pay for it. I want you to react to this.
Will American taxpayers pay for the wall?
Ultimately, it'll come out of what's happening with Mexico. We're going to be starting those negotiations relatively soon, and we will be, in a form, reimbursed by Mexico, which I've always said.
So they'll pay us back?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Yes.
So the American taxpayer will pay for the wall at first?
All it is we'll be reimbursed at a later date from whatever transaction we make from Mexico.
Or reimbursed at a later date. Now, obviously, that leaves open the possibility of tariffs on Mexican goods or some sort of a payment like that to pay for this, but it could run into the billions of dollars, as you know. The Mexicans already said that is not going to happen. Where is this going?
Well, obviously, getting the wall and other infrastructure built is a top priority. So the president doesn't want to wait until we can collect enough in remittance taxes or other, tariffs or visa fees or crossing fees or whatever. He wants to get started. I think that taxpayers are going to be fine with having the money appropriated by Congress first so we can get going on it. Knowing that, failing to stop illegal immigration is much more costly than building this wall and improving other aspects of immigration security are going to be. I don't see that as a problem. I expect that he will make good on his promise to get taxpayers reimbursed through these other revenue sources that are out there, not giving out tax credits to illegal aliens who are making claims on children that they may or may not have. There are lots of ways to pay American taxpayers back for the cost of this necessary project.
Yeah, actually quite a few. We're going to get into that in a little bit more detail, but Jessica, thank you very, very much. Jessica Vaughn.